if we trampled all over the vibe that you're having right now and we just watch a PragerU video? How about that, huh? And what about not just watching the PragerU video, what about watching the PragerU video that we're about to watch with the understanding that the state of Florida is showing these same videos to children in educational facilities, formerly known as schools? They are now PragerU propaganda centers. So this is one on Columbus. Prepare your butts.
Oh, hey.
What's up with the face? You look stressed.
I'm just doing some research. Was today weird for you?
Yeah, how'd you guess?
Columbus Day.
Or Native American Day, or Indigenous Peoples Day?
Was today weird for you? What is the premise of this? This is really fucking jarring. Now I'm trying to fill in what the context of this is. Okay.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, some of the teachers at my school really don't like Christopher Columbus and don't think he should have a holiday, but some do.
Oh, do teachers argue about that? I think any history teacher that knows anything about that is like, yeah, I mean, Christopher Columbus probably shouldn't be celebrated. You know?
Same with my teachers, and even some kids got into arguments about it today. You finding any good info?
Kinda, but it's real mixed. The side against Columbus says he was a really mean guy who spread slavery, disease, and violence to people who would have been better off if he'd never gone to the New World.
100% true.
Ouch.
I know, but the side for him says he was a really courageous guy who loved exploring, inspired generations, and spread Christianity and Western civilization to people who really benefited from new ways of thinking and doing things.
We're adding spreading Christianity to the list of things that are good in the video sent to school children. Interesting.
Go.
How very anti-First Amendment. Let's see. Oh. Columbus cutting off hands, if you just Google that. Many more died once they had been sold to slavers. So Columbus tried again for gold, but this time he and his men didn't go looking for it. They ordered the Taino people, 14 and older, to deliver a certain amount of gold dust every 3 months. If they didn't, their hands would be cut off. A generous guy.
That sounds really good.
I know.
What do you think? Which side is right?
I don't know. It seems really complicated, but both
My
sides
dick
are
is
just...
actually so moist it's dripping.
Fuck. He was a torturer on par with Thomas de Torquemada. Fuck him and your Western chauvinist jackassery.
giving their opinions. It would be cool to hear from, the source.
You want us to go talk to
I
Christopher?
cannot with a bit, though. You know what? I might... Ridiculous.
My dick is actually so moist.
Oh,
it's
God.
dripping.
No. Please. I love this.
For Columbus, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I hope he's not mean.
Somewhere over the Atlantic in 1493.
Don't be alarmed, sir.
Don't worry about it. I'm wrapping up the wildest journey maybe that anyone's ever taken.
Is that Christopher Columbus? They gave him a little voice.
Nothing phases me. What, you from the future?
I'm basically Puss in Boots. Like, what?
How'd you guess?
Either that or Indians? I've kinda had a hard time telling who's what lately.
I'm Layla. He's my brother Leo, and we need to learn about you.
Your brother and sister? Oh, I thought it was her child.
You.
We live 500 years from now, and there's a holiday for you, but it's really controversial and we're confused.
Oh yeah, you're about to fucking really do some barbaric shit. And actually we made a bootstrap paradox to you to think of doing these things. Prepare for some slavery apologists. Yeah, let's go.
Nice! I have a holiday? Well, caramba! I should. I've worked so hard to get to this point, and what I just accomplished was insane.
Will you tell us?
Oh, he already did it. Never mind. I see you are children. Do you have your quota of gold dust? I'd hate to leave you empty-handed. Again, for your knowledge, this? I'll click on that. What? Stephen Crowder, PragerU's dumbest history teacher? Well, I don't want to watch that right now. We're doing this other thing.
It's about your journey?
Allow me to give you a little biographical information so it all makes sense.
Okay.
I was raised in the port town of Genoa along the Mediterranean Sea. My papa was a wool weaver.
Papa?
And most boys just did whatever their dads did. But I was different. Every day I would look out at the sea and wonder what
really
was out there
romantic.
beyond just what I could see.
I see what you did there. So you were curious?
See. And so as a teenager and a young man, I did everything I could.
He's got his
to
adventuring
care my
cuffs
curious
on.
Nature.
Tell that
I
he's an
volunteered
adventurer.
for all kinds of crazy sea adventures.
Put those on when you go.
And I took my first
What are they
one
for?
At 14.
You know.
Whoa.
Yeah. And soon sailed to Iceland, Ireland, and Africa. I
Wow.
taught myself to read, learned many languages, and read everything I could about geography, astronomy, and exploration, including my favorite book, The Travels of Marco Polo.
Marco.
Polo.
And then I pillaged. Excellent. Excellent work.
Okay?
Oh, it's a game we play in swimming pools. Never mind.
Never mind. Marco Polo is the greatest explorer who ever lived. In fact, the trade routes he wrote of and their closing is basically why I'm here right now.
What do you mean?
Well, first, the writings of his amazing journey to the Far East inspired me to be an explorer. But then, 40 years ago, when the Muslims conquered Constantinople and closed down the Silk Road, they made it impossible to get by land from Europe to Asia. And that
Those motherfuckers, they stopped doing commerce.
opened up the desire and opportunity to figure out a path by the sea.
Open up the opportunity to discover the sea. To clarify, Columbus was so fucking brutal that even the colonizing Spaniards thought he was fucked. Thanks for the 50 biddies.
What was so...
If anyone, you guys have opinions on on Christopher Columbus, it's more than free to toss him out there. I'm sure many people don't know about the many great things he did, like cutting the hands of children off that didn't give him enough gold.
so important about getting from Europe to Asia?
Leo, we want to trade. They have so much
Look at
cool
this
stuff in
animation,
places
man.
like India, China, and the Spice Islands.
Let me guess. Spices.
Smarty pants. If you tried our
Smarty
Middle Ages
pants.
European food, you would know how much we need those spices.
So you wanted to get spices from Asia and make a lot of money?
No, I wanted to explore the world and see things that nobody where I'm from had ever seen before. But I
See how
didn't
he
have enough
hedged.
money for a crazy sea adventure, so I had to get a sponsor. I needed to convince a really rich person to pay for my trips.
Ah, so you had to be persuasive and tell somebody that paying for your trip would make them even more money. You get to explore, and they get spices and stuff from Asia to sell and make a profit.
Correcto.
You see? He wasn't doing it for wealth. It was the other people pursuing wealth, and he used their pursuit of wealth to exploit their situation. Interesting.
So since the Muslims had cut off all the land trade routes to Asia,
Aw, the Muslims.
and we Europeans still wanted Asian
Aw, just a little European guy. It's a little European guy. He doesn't do nothing no wrong. When he cuts your hands off, he does it in a cute way.
things, I came up with a crazy plan to get there by sailing west.
Why was that crazy?
Because no one knew if it could be done.
Is that because people thought the world was flat?
No, that's a myth. Since the time of the ancient Greeks, educated people have known the world is round and could possibly be
PragerU appealing to the round earthers? Wow, what are you, a globe head? Sheesh.
sailed around. But Earth was believed to be so big that with so much ocean between Europe and Asia, no way could a ship hold enough food and water for its crew to survive a westward journey between the continents.
You thought differently?
I did my own calculations and thought maybe could be done. I might have played with the numbers a bit, but I was desperate to give it a try.
Sounds like your sponsor needed to be desperate, too.
PragerU has fallen to the ball earther propaganda. Fuck.
Go.
This is a kind of lie. From what I remember, Columbus was trying to find a shortcut to India. Guess why we call indigenous people they called them Indians for a time? Yeah. Well, yeah.
I first asked the King of Portugal, but his advisors told him my plan would never work, so he said no. Then I tried Spain, and they said no too. But after 6 years of bugging their king and queen, Ferdinand and Isabella, I finally got them to agree to pay for my voyage west out to the great unknown.
It took 6 years?
Why did they finally give in?
Only they can know for sure. But it's probably no coincidence that after
Why did Spanish conquistadors why did they want to go west? Man, there are we should teach real history to kids, I think. I wonder why they want to teach this instead.
hundreds of years of fighting to kick the Muslim invaders out of their country in what was known as the Reconquista, the Spanish monarchs sent me on a mission to find new trade routes and...
this seems just a fact that popped up. False. He first landed at the island of Guanahani in the Bahamas. He actually never set foot in North America, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, but in present-day Venezuela on his 4th journey. That motherfucker.
maybe even find gold and riches.
So Spain was broke and needed money. They were desperate.
You said it, not me. But Ferdinand and Isabella took a wild chance on my crazy idea. And here we are. I'm now sailing back to Spain to show off all kinds of amazing things I found and tell of the wonders of the lands I've seen.
Okay, now that we have the backstory, we've got some questions. There are a lot of people in our time upset about how you acted once you found all these amazing things in these new lands.
Amazing, since you found these amazing things in these new... Those things were already found, guys. The things? Totally found already.
Ah, that's right. You said I'm controversial.
You have no idea.
I've got nothing to hide.
Okay. So, took slaves, murdered people, literally pillaged their lands and colonized. Let's see how they do it.
So that was a fucking lie.
Ask away.
Okay, first, your sailing plan was right and all your doubters were wrong?
Well, they were wrong that my crew and I were going to die because after 10 weeks of sailing west,
On
we
technicality.
spotted land.
Your trip was 10 weeks?
You can't even handle a 2-hour car ride.
Sweeps a pile of severed hands under a rug.
Greatness requires patience.
Thanks,
You know the land you found wasn't India, right?
Really? Caramba! I suspected something was a little off, but my calculations suggested I had reached India, or at least the Far East.
My dick
So
is
what
actually so moist it's dripping.
God damn it, LFS.
And when you met the native people, who obviously discovered the land before you did, the Indians?
The first people we met were great. The Taino. They were peaceful, curious, and really helpful.
They were peaceful and curious and helpful. Aww.
I could tell right away that they were highly intelligent. They even were able to quickly mimic everything we said to them. I ordered my men to treat them well.
I'm sorry, Mr. Columbus, but I heard at school that you spoiled paradise and you brought slavery and murder to peaceful people.
Leo?
Slavery, uh-oh.
Sorry, it's what I read and heard at school.
Caramba! Those are some accusations. The place I discovered was beautiful, but it wasn't exactly a paradise of civilization. And
Of
the native
civilization. Oh. Of of civilization. These guys like to use that word a lot.
Today we'll learn about Christopher Columbus. The
We
heroic
can watch Adam Ruins Everything, Christopher Columbus. Oh no. Oh boy. Can we let the bugs do his thing already? Thanks for the bitties.
People were far from peaceful.
But you just said the Taino were peaceful.
They pretty much are.
Pretty much.
But there are other tribes who aren't. The Taino I had met had cuts and scars and bruises all over them. I asked why, and they told me about the Caribs, who are vicious, warring cannibals.
Cannibals? Like they
Eat people, see,
Whoa.
right? Hey, all the things that are bad in the world I come from.
I saved
jealousy,
him, yeah, that's right.
Lying, murder, war. It all
What a hero.
exists in the land I just found too. But in Europe, we draw the line at things like eating people and human sacrifice.
Oh, in Europe, we draw the lines at eating people. You can't eat the flesh of the people you torture. In the fucking Spanish Inquisition?
Some of the native folks from where I just left do those things regularly. So, these people in your time who think it was a peaceful paradise are misinformed. Or lying.
Yeah, but what about slavery? You didn't deny that.
Deny? No. Slavery is as old as time.
Oh, fuck.
And
It's
it's
just we've been doing it a long
taken
time.
place in every corner of the world. Even amongst the people I just left.
And the slaves I took, like, look at they live a better life now, I bet.
Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no?
Cuck. Wowzers. To children they're showing this. No, that's fucking outrageous. That's disgusting. I know Christopher Columbus is dead, but if you take the sword from him, if you disarm him and use it against him right now, I mean, go for it.
I don't see the problem.
Well, in our time, we view slavery as being evil and terrible.
Middle school age. Don't mind me, just gonna slide this in here. Ooh, I better check this out. Europe's hypocritical history of cannibalism, from prehistory to the present, with many episodes in between. The region has a surprisingly meaty history of humans eating humans. Europeans eat humans? What? References to acts of cannibalism are sprinkled throughout many religious and historical documents, such as the reports of cooked human flesh being sold in 11th century English markets during times of famine. Here, an engraving by Theodore de Bry depicts hungry Spaniards cutting down the bodies of thieves hanged by Pedro de Mendoza in order to eat them. Wow. Delicious. Let's eat them up. Sometimes you gotta eat a guy. It's fine when we do it. We're not. Hey, look. White barbarism isn't real if I disregard every instance of white barbarism.
Ah, magnifico. That's wonderful. I am glad humanity has reached such a time. But you said you're from 500 years in the future? How can you come here to the 15th century and judge me by your standards from the 21st century?
Cop out. I can do it because you are bad people. And we should be like, well, okay, so we agree that by the standards of today, the times we live, PragerU, that Columbus was not a good person, right? Okay. So therefore, we should not celebrate the actions that the bad guy took because he's a bad guy. You're happy that Christopher Columbus found Venezuela because you find some identity in like your colonizer fucking life. Like you're like the Western civilization guy. Oh, think of the civilization. Look at all the bounteous things you have. The bottled water and the computers. Do you think that we wouldn't have found a way to purify water if we didn't have robber barons? Do you think no one has interest in bottled water? Saying. How dare you judge me by the standards of your society? Now, excuse me while I judge the native civilization by my standard, because when I do it, it's fine. Well, they were living at the same time, you see.
For those in the future to look back and do this is, well, estúpido.
Are you calling me dumb?
Natives knew how to purify water pre-contact. How dare you?
Certainly not. I can tell you're a very smart young lady, but the idea of throwing away the past because of your present values is... Listen, I love and am thankful for the ancient Greeks, but they did lots of things that here in 1493 I do not agree with. They permitted lifestyles and worshiped gods that, as a Christian, I think is very bad.
Permitted lifestyles, the gays, and worshipped gods. I think it's so funny that Christians get worked up about other people worshiping false gods. That makes me so fucking happy. Like, they're like little D&D characters. Like, I'm an atheist, so like, I only experience religion in an RP setting ever. Insane.
But that doesn't mean I shouldn't respect and honor all the incredible and amazing things they did.
So, good and bad is based on the time you live in?
That is a great question.
No.
I told you I knew you were smart.
No. It's
Some things are clearly bad, no matter when they happen.
not. Oh, really? Like cutting hands off of children, Christopher?
But for other things, before you judge,
Debate me, Christopher Columbus.
you must ask yourself, what did the culture and society of the time treat as no big deal? Not everyone can time travel as you do and see how normal becomes very not normal.
Some things are, some things aren't. Sounds complicated.
You did bad things, and you should not be celebrated for doing bad things. That's it. You could still say Christopher Columbus petitioned Spain to sail westward and find Venezuela and some neighboring areas, and eventually that led to the mass colonization of the West and the Americas. Yeah, I mean, you can say that he was he was a catalyst. We can also talk about how if it wasn't going to be Christopher Columbus, it was going to be someone else that was going to colonize and do this. They were all colonizing pieces of shit back then. That was what it was about. Hey, PragerU, question this video. This video is from you saying that subjective morality is evil. So oh, whoa, wait, what? Subjective morality is evil in this video. There's no God, murder is wrong.
Believe that good and evil exist?
Uh-oh.
The answer to this question separates Judeo-Christian values from secular values.
Okay, yeah, good and evil does not exist.
Go.
Oops, that's the wrong one. Side note, the way he keeps calling her a smart woman when she's around the age they'd get married in Spain is a choice, yeah.
It is, and so is life. And history can be too. If people in your time want to celebrate me for being a perfect hero, then they are very mistaken. Only my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is perfect.
That's cringe.
And I hope to spread his teaching to all the lands I find
That's
that
fucking
don't know
cringe.
his
I have deep disagreements with Jesus. Hey, debate me, Jesus of Nazareth. He won't.
name. But if people in your time want to celebrate the guts I had to get this journey approved, start it, survive it, and get back to tell about it, well, that seems pretty good for any time and age.
I think you're right. Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Columbus.
You're a courageous explorer, and you've given me a lot to think
You're
about.
a courageous
Thank you, sir.
explorer.
You're welcome, kids. Now, let me lock you up and show you to the King and Queen of Spain. Just kidding. Safe travels, my friends.
Just a little playful slavery.
Bye.
Oh my god, dude.
Columbus sure had a crazy life.
I forgot he had PragerU propaganda on there still.
He made 3 more journeys across the ocean to the New World.
And it seems like most of the
The New World. I love that we call it the New World. Oh my god, it was brand new. No one's ever been there.
negative reports about him come from people who were his competition for things.
I don't think Christopher Columbus was a villain. And maybe he wasn't a hero, but he sure did some heroic things that are definitely worth celebrating.
And a lot of the things we judge him for now were just normal in his time. You never know, Leo. Maybe some of
Wasn't it normal to be a barbaric person? Christopher Columbus's peers were put off by his behavior. The Frederick Douglass one is worse, by the way. Wow. I'm not going to watch it right now. The fact that you survived every journey is evidence of the absence of God. Click on it. Just Leo and Layla's. So dumb, dude.
The things we're told are fine today will be considered evil or crazy in the future. But being courageous and wanting...
Yes, there will be things. What do you mean? Christianity is a great example of people like, why the fuck were they like this? Republicans? Wait, they were against trans people? They didn't want gay people to get married? They were against contraception? And abortion? And climate change? Like addressing climate change? They were against these things? And we'll have to be like, yes, we had to fight for this. So take care of it.
to explore the world are things worth admiring in any century.
Oh my god. So I can make the same argument for why it's okay to be LGBTQ plus today. Talk about a double standard. Oh yeah. I don't like the way she's looking at the camera. You mean mugging me, dude? Fuck you. Alright, PragerU. Propaganda. I mean, obviously, they're not teaching kids any facts about anything. They literally, like... This is such a fucking... They're thieves. They run a racket. They run a like a heist on right-wing conservative communities, and they try to sell propaganda to kids, man. And they just harm the community. We shouldn't allow this to exist.